10 most controversial Star Trek episodes of all time. With nearly 1,000 episodes of television among all of the various Star Trek shows, it's no surprise that some stories have courted controversy. Star Trek has always been ahead of its time with its optimistic view of the future and celebration of diversity. While Star Trek, the original series, undoubtedly remains a product of the 1960s, the show was progressive for its time and was no stranger to controversy. Star Trek has been responsible for several television firsts over the years and has developed a widespread and passionate fan base with very strong opinions. Any franchise with so much content and such passionate fans will inevitably produce some stories that spark strong reactions. Every Star Trek series since TOS has had episodes that got people talking, and modern Star Trek remains as controversial as ever. Since Star Trek Discovery brought the franchise into the streaming era in 2017, the show has been met with contentious opinions and decidedly mixed reviews. But this level of controversy is nothing new for Star Trek, as the franchise has always found ways to discuss hot-button topics. When the USS Enterprise investigates a series of deaths at a mining facility, Captain James T. Kirk, William Shatner, and Spock, Leonard Nimoy, encounter a silicon-based lifeform called the Horta. After Spock initiates a mind meld with the Horta, he discovers that the creature has simply been trying to protect its young. As a classic Star Trek story, The Devil in the Dark has a lot going for it, but it controversially has no speaking parts for women. Star Trek, the original series, was progressive in putting L.T. Uhura, Nichelle Nichols, a black woman, on the bridge of a starship, but she often got sidelined as a character. She does not even get the chance to announce that hailing frequencies are open in this episode. Even Gene Roddenberry noted the lack of women in The Devil in the Dark, penning a letter about the topic to producer and writer Gene L. Coon. Unsurprisingly, Star Trek's Space Nazi episode stirred up its fair share of controversy. Patterns of Force follows Kirk and his crew as they investigate the disappearance of a Federation observer, only to find that he has turned an alien planet into a replica of Nazi Germany. Jean-Luc David Bryan had originally intended to bring order to the lawless society of the Ecosians using a benign form of fascism. Jill stated that Nazi Germany was the most efficient state Earth ever knew. Because of this line and the Nazi imagery throughout the episode, Patterns of Force was banned from German television until 1995. Rather than inventing an alien society that merely has similarities to Nazi Germany, this Star Trek episode features swastikas, a Führer, as well as Nazi slogans and salutes. The Star Trek, the original series episode, Plato's Stepchildren, was controversial for several reasons. Captain Kirk, Spock, and Dr. McCoy, DeForest Kelley, visit a planet of powerful telekinetic aliens with a culture inspired by ancient Greece. When Kirk refuses to stay on the planet, the Platonians punish the captain and his crew members by forcing them to perform for their entertainment. In one of Star Trek's most famous moments, the Platonians force Captain Kirk to kiss L.T. Uhura in one of television's first interracial kisses. Although NBC feared this scene would anger some viewers, they reportedly received very little negative feedback. Interestingly, Plato's Stepchildren was banned by the BBC not because of the interracial kiss, but due to unpleasant content, including torture and sadism. Star Trek, since its debut in 1966, has been a trailblazer in science fiction, tackling difficult social and political issues through allegory and futuristic storytelling. However, even the visionary franchise hasn't been immune to controversy. Some Star Trek episodes have sparked debate over their handling of sensitive topics, challenging viewers' expectations and, at times, their values. Here are 10 of the most controversial episodes of all time. 1. Plato's Stepchildren, TOS Season 3, Episode 10. Plato's Stepchildren is perhaps one of the most debated episodes from the original Star Trek series. The controversy centers around the infamous kiss between Captain Kirk, William Shatner, and Lieutenant Uhura, Nichelle Nichols, which was one of the first interracial kisses ever broadcast on American television. In the 1960s, this was considered highly controversial and was initially met with resistance from some networks. Despite the episode's progressive portrayal of equality and human rights, it is remembered for how it pushed boundaries and faced backlash from certain viewers. 2. The Outcast, TNG Season 5, Episode 17. This Next Generation episode explores themes of gender and sexuality when the crew encounters a species where gender is fluid. The episode focuses on the relationship between Commander Riker, Jonathan Frakes, and Soren, Melinda Page Hamilton, an individual who identifies as a female but belongs to a society that recognizes only one gender. The episode's thinly veiled metaphor for the struggles of LGBTQ+ individuals in a society that forces conformity created significant discussion and controversy. Some viewers appreciated its progressive stance, while others felt it didn't go far enough in addressing the issue. 3. The Drumhead, TNG Season 4, Episode 21. This episode from The Next Generation is a scathing commentary on paranoia, political witch hunts, and the erosion of civil liberties. When a senior officer aboard the Enterprise is accused of espionage, an investigation ensues, and a witch hunt atmosphere develops. The episode draws parallels to the McCarthy era, reflecting the fear-driven decisions that can lead to violations of fundamental rights. Its portrayal of the military-industrial complex and the dangers of authoritarianism struck a nerve, especially in times of heightened political tensions, making it one of the most thought-provoking yet controversial episodes. 4. Ménage à Trois, TNG Season 3, Episode 24. While Star Trek often explored human relationships, Ménage à Trois took things a step further with its storyline involving a ménage à trois. In this episode, Captain Picard, Patrick Stewart, and the crew are taken hostage by the Ferengi, and Deanna Troi, Marina Sirtis, is forced to confront her own emotions regarding her mother, Lwaxana Troi, Majel Barrett. The episode received mixed reactions, with some viewers finding its handling of sexuality and relationships in the 24th century refreshing, while others felt it undermined the seriousness of Star Trek's themes of diplomacy and exploration. 5. The City on the Edge of Forever, TOS Season 1, Episode 28. While generally regarded as one of the finest episodes of Star Trek, The City on the Edge of Forever caused controversy with its portrayal of time travel and its impact on historical events. The episode features a romantic subplot between Kirk and Edith Keeler, Joan Collins, with Kirk ultimately being forced to let her die to preserve history. The ethical dilemma of whether it is right to allow a woman to die for the greater good of history prompted intense debates, raising questions about the value of individual lives versus societal progress. 6. Let That Be Your Last Battlefield, TOS Season 3, Episode 15. This episode, featuring two characters from the planet Sharon, who are physically identical but have different skin colors, half black, half white, is a powerful commentary on the absurdity of racism. The episode's message about prejudice and hatred is clear, but its heavy-handed allegory was often seen as overly simplistic and preachy. However, it remains one of Star Trek's boldest critiques of racism, an issue that was, and continues to be, highly controversial in both society and media. 7. The Chase, TNG Season 6, Episode 20. In The Chase, the crew of the Enterprise uncovers a mystery about the origins of all humanoid life in the galaxy, revealing that an ancient species known as the Preservers seeded various planets with their genetic material. The controversy lies in the implications of this idea, suggesting that all humanoid life was somehow artificially created. This concept upset some fans who preferred the idea of a more natural, organic evolution of life and found the episode's premise to be a violation of Star Trek's fundamental exploration of diverse life forms. 8. The Inner Light, TNG Season 5, Episode 25. While widely acclaimed as one of Star Trek, The Next Generation's finest episodes,